Hello everybody, this is JP Hrisoulas, the Cranky old bastard, with another little discussion we're going to have on soldering. What it is, what kind of solders, etc, etc, etc. First, let's get into the kind of solders. Actually, let's go into first what it is. Soldering is basically a way to not only join a guard to a blade or another part to a blade, it also seals any openings when properly done. A lot of makers don't solder, they do a nice tight press fit, also has a friction fit. There's nothing wrong with that. Other makers use materials such as JB Weld or some other metal bearing epoxies or polymers. Same idea, no heat. I learned to solder many years ago, and it's just part of the integral process to attach your guard and make sure it stays put and no moisture gets down in between the guard and the blade. That can wreak havoc later on over the years, cause corrosion, rust, all kinds of nastiness to happen. So with that being said, there are two basic kinds of solders that you'll be dealing with as far as making the junction between a guard and a blade. The first one is a non-silver bearing solder. This would be your bismuth based, your 60-40 lead tin solders. I don't like using lead tin solder. It's a mess. It darkens. It's just not a good thing for me. Then you have the silver bearing solders. These are usually done with tin and silver. The solder I use is 97% tin, 3% silver. This material melts, it goes liquidus about 425 degrees, which is right at the level of my lowest temperature, so it doesn't have effect on the heat treating, whereas a higher melting solder could if your heat treating is, a different temperature. The nice thing about the silver bearing solders, especially this one, the 97.3, is it's impervious to hot glue, caustic glue. Most caustic blues run at about 295 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, plus you have the reaction of the sodium hydroxide and the ammonium nitrate, which can raise heck with some solders, but not the 97 tin silver. It just lightly etches it, which can be brought back to a polish, and it allows it to be hot glued after you solder. However, not all soft solders that way. The old tin lead solders could and you try hot gluing them, you could actually unsolder the double barrel shotgun barrels that they were secured with, which is a mess, and it's just something you do not want to have happen. Now, the trick to soldering is a couple of little hints here. One, get the fit as close as you can get. No gaps. Get it even. Make sure that's clean, mechanically and chemically clean before you apply the flux. Position the parts, apply the flux, heat, and solder. I like to flatten my silver solder because it comes in round wire. By flattening it, you allow yourself a little bit more control as far as the amount of solder you have going into the joint. Now, the nice thing about the silver bearing solder is it will actually suck around between the guard and the blade by capillary action and follow the heat. So you got to be sure that you don't overheat where it sucks everything out to the bottom of the guard and then down to the tang, which may clean up a little bit of a hassle. Other than that, that's the easy part. Now, there's other solders called hard solders, which are also a silver bearing solder, and these can be an alloy of silver, bronze, brass, zinc, tin. This is more akin to the lines of brazing. They're much more heat. You cannot do this after you heat treat because you cook the heat treat right out of it. These temperatures will flow on 1400 to 1600. which is below the critical temperature of most steels. So you can forget about silver soldering them. Anything's going to get hot. It's more akin to brazing than soldering. It's a very strong solder. I use it a lot for doing ferrules on blades and fittings, soldering on bezels, on shapes and lockets, on the pommels of swords and knives. It's hard soldering is a little bit more labor intensive, and you develop a little different skill set as far as how you're soldering, because like I said, you're more along the lines of brazing than you are soldering. And if you get too careless, you can actually melt the pieces you're trying to solder onto, which can be a real bad thing to happen. It means going back and redoing the work. So if you got like 5 or 6 hours in a piece and you bugger it up on soldering, you just got all that time down the tube. So anyway, that's about it for soldering. This is a very wide, broad discussion here. That's about all I can say for right now. Remember, I have a live knife chat coming on Sunday, the 10th at 1800 hours, which is 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Please drop by then. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. May the wise Lord bless and keep you all. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.